That shouldn't surprise any of us. But they went in there and absolutely obliterated the Connecticut Sun tonight. Caitlin Clark, big-time double-double. And before the game, Sophie Cunningham was asked about her comments that she made where she stood up for women.
Sports has its own set of silent laws, and breaking them always comes with consequences. You don't poke a sleeping giant. You don't hand a rising star extra motivation. And you definitely don't come after the player closest to your biggest rival's heart. The Connecticut Sun clearly skipped that lesson. What went down between the Indiana Fever and their Eastern Conference rivals wasn't just another basketball game. It was a slow, brutal takedown, the kind coaches replay in film rooms for seasons to come. The night kicked off with a shocking headline that caught the whole league off guard. But by the final buzzer, it turned into a nightmare for the visitors, broadcast live for everyone to see. One thing became crystal clear by the end of this game. Mess with Sophie Cunningham, and Caitlin Clark will make you regret it. To really understand how this blowout unfolded, and the mental warfare behind it, we need to rewind to the wild energy building before tip-off. The arena wasn't just noisy. It was electric, practically shaking with anticipation. And the reason? Just hours before the opening tip, a huge announcement dropped that sent shockwaves through the entire sports world.
You did a great job coaching, that you did a great job of getting the hell out of Caitlin Clark's way today. When the GOAT has the ball in her hands, there's nothing anybody can do. This was a masterclass. This is why she is the best show in the business. Must-see television. Caitlin Clark put on an absolute dominant performance versus the Connecticut Sun. 27 points, 11 assists in just 27 minutes. Indiana Fever beat the absolute dog crap.
Every sport plays by unwritten rules, and breaking them never ends well. You don't wake a sleeping giant. You don't fuel a rising star's fire. And you never touch the player who stands closest to your rival's heart. The Connecticut Sun forgot all three. This wasn't just another matchup between the Fever and their Eastern Conference rivals. It was a slow, calculated beatdown, the kind that ends up in coaching film for years. Before tip-off, a jaw-dropping headline shook the league. By the final whistle, it turned into a live TV disaster for the visiting team. And one message rang loud and clear. Come for Sophie Cunningham, and Caitlin Clark will make you pay. To understand this collapse, rewind to the hours before the game. The arena wasn't just packed, it was buzzing, crackling with tension. Why? Because right before tip-off, a massive announcement hit the news, and it stunned the entire basketball world.
Work, pre-order NBA 2K27. Now, I've taken a break from 2K. I haven't played 2K the last 6 years. I'm not going to play. It's the same game, repackaged over and over again. But Caitlin Clark on the cover. Love to see it. Caitlin Clark on the cover. Absolutely loved it. This should have happened year one. This should have happened year two. But you know what? They're not just going to throw her on the WNBA edition like Angel Reese and Asia Wilson. She's not going to get a participation trophy like those two. Oh yeah, here you go, WNBA edition. Oh, really? For me? Nah, see, don't worry, Caitlin.
Trying everything to shake the new 2K cover star, the Sun ditched their game plan and turned to rough tactics. Film sessions had already told them the truth. There was no stopping Clark from deep, no matching her speed, no matching her vision on the floor. So instead, they went after someone else. They tried to break the team's spirit by targeting its toughest player, Sophie Cunningham. That's when Alyssa Amoro made a move that had fans jumping off their couches. A hard, unnecessary hit that sent Cunningham crashing down. This wasn't a hustle play. This wasn't a fight for a rebound. This was a statement, and a dirty one. It crossed the line from physical defense into a cheap shot nobody could ignore.
From anybody with half a brain cell today. No doubt about it. Now, right here, double technicals for Sanaya Rivers and Caitlin Clark, who exchanged words after a Connecticut foul. That's 7 technicals for Caitlin Clark. One more, and she will be suspended. I hope they rescind this one because I thought it was complete bullshit. You see that score, 123-88. The Indiana Fever set a record for points in the first half of a game with 70 tonight. Wow. Yeah, and Caitlin Clark started this game fast. She never really took her foot off the pedal at all. And I got to tell you, if teammates could have made some shots, she might have had 16, 17, 18 assists tonight. There were a lot of shots missed on passes that she made.
The thud when Cunningham hit the floor was loud enough for the mics to catch it. For one heartbeat, the whole arena fell silent. Fans held their breath. Trainers jumped up from the sideline, ready to move. For a second, the Sun bench probably thought it worked, that this one hit would crack Indiana's confidence and throw their whole offense off rhythm. But they had no clue who they were dealing with. Sophie Cunningham isn't wired like most players. She's tough, straight up. No lying on the floor. No waiting on a trainer. She popped right back up, instantly, not backing down an inch. She jumped right back into the play, sending one clear message. This Fever team does not scare easy, and they will not be bullied.
Clark and Kelsey Mitchell are an unguardable backcourt. Kelsey Mitchell's passing the ball. The girl shoots at an efficient clip. Aaliyah Boston had 20 points, 20 minutes. I mean, damn, they beat the hell out the Connecticut Sun. Let's get a look at these GOAT highlights, please. Please. Let's get into these GOAT highlights, man. They can't stop CC.
Tail up. You put on...
Let's take a look at these highlights, man. Caitlin Clark put on a show. Loading up threes. First play of the game. Bang! Baghdad! First play of the game. Y'all can't stop her. Snatch back. Pull up. From the parking lot. Pulled up from the parking lot. Where's $50 to park at? Getting into the lane. And one. You can't stop her. They ain't even call it. Reverse is too easy for Caitlin Clark. She's unguardable. Another three. Baghdad! They can't stop her. She's pulling up. She's pulling up from Hawkeye Arena. What a pass to Aaliyah Boston, man. Caitlin Clark can't be stopped. If you think there's anybody as good as in basketball as Caitlin Clark, you're either drunk, on drugs, you're delusional, you need to check into a mental ward, something is wrong. Pump fake, step back, cash. This girl's unguardable, man. The girl's unguardable. She hit, 5 threes in the first half?
The real threat in that moment wasn't coming from Cunningham at all. As referees rushed in to break up the chaos, every camera in the building found one person, Caitlin Clark, and the smile from her 2K27 cover shoot. Completely gone. All that pre-game joy had vanished, replaced by something colder, sharper, almost frightening. She wasn't yelling at officials. She wasn't throwing her arms up for attention. She just stood there, locked in, staring straight through the Connecticut bench with eyes that gave away nothing. The Sun had no idea what they'd just triggered. In that one silent moment, they had already written their own ending. What happened next is the kind of thing coaches will break down on film for years, a masterclass in payback. Clark flipped a switch. She hit a level of dominance the league rarely gets to witness. Indiana stopped running normal sets and simply started picking Connecticut apart, possession after possession, with surgical precision. Clark pulled up from the logo like it was nothing, drilling shot after shot with a coldness that drains the energy right out of defenders. Every time the Sun tried trapping her, doubling her, running her off screens, she made it look easy. Blind passes, behind-the-back deliveries. She was slicing through their defense like she'd studied every gap beforehand. The whole game turned into her show, run entirely at her pace, on her terms. Professional athletes, some of the best in the world, were getting turned into human traffic cones. You could see it in their faces: fear, exhaustion, total collapse. They were stuck inside a disaster they had built themselves, standing across from a talent who wasn't interested in mercy. And here's the thing. This all happened on the same day something massive dropped in the basketball world. Just hours before tip-off, it was revealed that Clark would appear on the global cover of NBA 2K27, sharing that honor alongside Victor Wembanyama on the Standard Edition and former MVP Derrick Rose on the Special Edition release. It's a milestone that cements just how far her impact has spread. She's become one of the most recognized faces in the entire sport since stepping into the league. Speaking afterward about the announcement, Clark called the whole thing surreal. She said it still feels unreal, remembering how as a kid, she'd always watched to see who landed the next cover spot. But she didn't stop there. She made it clear this moment was bigger than just her. She talked about how far the women's game has come and how energized people are getting about what it can offer. Her hope: that young girls everywhere see this and realize what's possible for their own future in the sport. She also opened up about sharing the cover with two NBA legends. She first crossed paths with Rose back in 7th grade at a tournament, and she called Wembanyama one of her favorite current players, even mentioning he once gave her a signed, game-worn jersey that she still keeps as a prized memory. Meanwhile, back on the court, the damage kept piling up. Somewhere in the middle of the destruction, fans couldn't help but laugh, wondering aloud what Sophie Cunningham's in-game rating in 2K would look like after a performance like this, especially her three-point shooting numbers. When the final buzzer sounded, the scoreboard barely looked real, 88-23. Read that again, 88-23. A total, humiliating blowout, lived for the whole basketball world to witness. Clark didn't just win the game, she took Connecticut's pride with her. She finished with a jaw-dropping 27 points and 11 assists, a double-double built entirely out of loyalty, fire, and pure dominance. It wasn't just a win. It was a message sent loud and clear to every front office in the league. Mess with my teammates, play dirty against my team, and you will pay in a way you won't forget. Records will fall. Your team will end up as a highlight reel people replay for the wrong reasons. This wasn't just Clark protecting Cunningham. This was Clark lifting an entire franchise, proving to everyone watching that this Indiana roster is a family, one willing to go to battle for each other on every single possession. That's exactly the kind of leadership and mentality that made her the right choice to represent a brand on a global stage. It's not just about her scoring ability or her range from deep. It's about a competitor who refuses to let her team get disrespected. And the chaos didn't stop there. Technical fouls started raining down on Connecticut as their frustration boiled over. Diamond Miller kept jawing despite being down big. Players were still fouling Clark well after whistles, even during timeout walks back to the bench. Sonia Rivers, kept talking trash despite the scoreboard telling a very different story. At one point, Clark herself turned around and simply said, "Look at the scoreboard." Moments later, she picked up a technical foul of her own for the exchange, but by then, the outcome had already been decided. Down 30 points and still talking. That's exactly why performances like this happen. That's exactly why nights like this become historic. Let's run through the numbers, because the whole roster showed up. Aaliyah Boston put together a strong all-around game. 22 points on 10 of 14 shooting, plus 5 assists and 6 rebounds, all in just 20 minutes of action. Kelsey Mitchell was efficient too, going 9 of 16 from the field and 3 of 6 from deep for 23 points, adding 2 assists and 4 rebounds. And then there was Clark, 27 points, 11 assists, in only 27 minutes on the floor. And here's the wild part. She didn't even see the fourth quarter. By the time the dust settled, Clark walked off holding her global 2K27 cover in one hand, and the crushed morale of the Connecticut Sun in the other. Consider this the league's official warning. The path to a championship runs straight through Indiana. And if any team decides to test that path with cheap shots or dirty plays, they should be ready for exactly the kind of storm that came down on Connecticut that night. This was more than a basketball game. It was history colliding with raw emotion, a business milestone, and a revenge story unfolding in real time on the same night. Connecticut poked the wrong team, and the price was one of the most explosive individual performances the league has seen in years. If this kind of story keeps you hooked, make sure you're following along, because the wildest moments in sports are always right around the corner, and you won't want to miss what happens next.